Welcome to Ultimate Wrestling Trivia, the show. Down there is the man, Mike Merc. The man in the middle, Angelo, don't call me Al Snow, Stefano. And my name is Devon. We appreciate you guys tuning in each and every Tuesday, 6:05 Eastern, 5:05 Central, Ultimate Wrestling Trivia, the show. All right, we're going to jump right into it. As of late, AEW ratings have been the talk of the town. Myself, Dash, and Garrick absolutely enjoy the product. There may be a person on the panel today that's a little different. Not saying who at all. But recently, they've been averaging just over 750,000 views. The Dynamite in the 18 to 49 demo does about a 0.23, 0.25. They're just coming off of that awesome pay-per-view, which I thought AEW Destiny, Daniel Bryan, Will Ospreay, off the charts, 5 stars if you ask me. Usually if AEW Dynamite gets beat, it's usually by a sports game, an NBA game, so they end up about that third or fourth show, which I feel like isn't too bad. They're still at the top. I feel like a lot of it gets blown out of proportion when it comes to ratings. A lot of you, if you follow the Wrestling Observer, know that Dave Meltzer, there's a lot of heat when it comes to that. But AEW ratings, Mike Merc, comments, questions, concerns, what are you thinking? Do they got to switch anything up?
So the AEW television deal expires at the end of the year with Warner Brothers Discovery. So WWE was courting them in discussions with them, and they ended up signing a massive billion deal with Netflix. So that took that potential competitor out of the mix. And whether we think the ratings are good or we think the ratings are poor, it really matters what Warner Brothers Discovery thinks, because ultimately they're the ones that are going to decide. And I have to think, without being in the room, that they're somewhat pleased with the product, because they're the reason there was a second show added on Dynamite, or after Dynamite, with Rampage, and then the third show added with Collision.
Yeah.
So I do think there's things that can be done to improve ratings, such as storylines, and one of the giveaways, AEW loves surprises.
They do.
They'll tease a surprise, and they'll tease big announcements. Well, instead of a big announcement, why don't you do that 3-4 week build of vignettes of, Okada is coming, rather than just surprise.
Okada's here.
Yeah. Will Ospreay's here. Oh, we played Bryan Danielson's music, or here's the CEO, Mercedes Moné, in her hometown. Why not, cut a match and show a dollar sign, and try to get that tease,
that little buzz
build.
Going,
and let people look for that and want that. People anticipate and look for Tony Storm segments. That's one of the most buzzworthy things
True.
that they have right now. So you could do more of that with all those debuts, rather than just surprise, they're here.
It's very important that AEW succeed. There shouldn't just be one wrestling company. That's never good for the guys and girls working in wrestling. It's very important that AEW succeeds. I don't like the product. I have a hard time watching it. And
why don't you? What is something that makes it hard for you to watch?
I think that they don't, when they bring in Will Ospreay, and they bring him in, and he's fantastic, and I love him. I do, and I know you're surprised that I do, even with all the gymnastics that are sometimes done. But they bring him in, and he has these 25, 30-minute matches with guys that he shouldn't be struggling with, and it takes away from him. If you're bringing him in as such a big deal and such a big star, his first few matches, he should crush people, and everyone would be like, oh, here we go. Look at this guy. This guy's a world beater. And that's not done. He comes in, he has great matches, don't get me wrong, but there's no build to him. There's like, it's just kind of, here he is. You should like him. Well, give me a reason.
So you lean on the side where Punk recently, a while back, I think he was on Ariel Hawani's show where he said that just kind of putting on the matches, the long period matches for the to get the 4 or 5 star matches.
Just to have them. And I think if you want more eyeballs on your product, you have to build certain things, and you have to build it in levels and layers. And another problem I have, and I'm not saying anything bad about Mercedes Moné as a person because I don't know her, but I have a hard time when you have a girl, if you threw a bucket of water on her, she'd weigh 90 pounds, and she's supposed to come in and be the next big deal. I don't. She's a star because she acts like a star when she's in the ring, and she's in the ring with someone that is twice her size. It's hard for me to buy.
So wrestling is where you're supposed to suspend your disbelief, and you just have
Right.
a hard time doing that. Where you're like almost where you're getting your intelligence insulted. You feel like
That's
in a sense.
Now that's how I feel a little bit. I'm not saying everybody does.
Fair enough.
Some people are all on the Mercedes Moné bandwagon, and hey, that's great. If that's what you like, that's what you like. For me, I'm going to turn my eyeballs away. I'm not interested in that. I'm not going to watch that. And that's where I don't think I'm the only one, and I think their ratings reflect that. I think their crowd sizes reflect that. And I think it's a problem they need to address, and that comes directly in booking.
So if you were again, this is no shot at AEW. We overall love the product, what they put out there. It's good for business, as you said, for the boys and the girls. If you were to be the booker, the manager, like is Tony Khan the guy, or would you hire somebody like a Nick Khan to help run that business part? Like, how do you tweak it just a little bit?
You do need more hands on deck. Some of the you've heard like Conan address this on his podcast.
Mm-hmm.
His suggestion, which I don't disagree with, was give Bryan Danielson Rampage. Let that be his baby. Let
Sure.
it look different. Let it feel different. The shows do feel very similar, and some of that is a byproduct of taping all those shows maybe in one night. So it's in the same arena. You change the lighting a little bit, but for the most part, it's a similar kind of entrances and everything else. That is one opportunity is to have a different vision for a different show, whether you have the same rosters or somewhat exclusive. Like take a quarter of the roster and fixate them on that one program, and then you have a quarter on one show, a quarter on another show, and then you've got maybe your top quarter can float between all the programs.
So in your mind, they're actually not too far off from, it's like just a few minor tweaks then.
Absolutely. They have talent, and it's not like Jerry Lynn, Dean Malenko, Christopher Daniels, some of their current producers. Those guys are all great, and they're knowledgeable, and the product isn't necessarily the issue isn't in the ring.
I think it's presentation.
It's a combination of the presentation and the storylines lack that meat that you want to sink your teeth into. You're not sitting around the water cooler the next day discussing about the upcoming pay-per-view match, because other than one or two matches, they don't build them until a week or two before the event.
Yeah. And just coming off that pay-per-view, which we enjoyed it thoroughly, AEW Destiny was fantastic. As always, you can drop it in the comments. Let us know what you think of the ratings. Is it a big deal? Is it not a big deal? What do you think they could tweak a little bit? Do they go the WWE route, do their own thing? Let us know in the comments. We appreciate you guys as always. All right, so we are moving on, switching gears just a little bit. We played this game recently. It's been taking over the social media world. Try not to say the same thing as me game. Do we have that? The wrestling edition of it. Merc's going to come up with some things, and me and Stefano are going to write it down. We're going to try not to say the same thing as him. So what do you got for us?
All right, so you get a chance to play at home as well. So
Burt Reynolds.
not quite. So I'm going to say a question,
Yep.
and then you guys are going to write down your answer.
Burt
We're
Reynolds.
going to review. No, it's that wasn't the question. So your mother, Trebek. So this is Championship Titles Edition. So
Okay.
I want you to think of a particular wrestler for that particular championship title.
Okay.
So the first one, and you can do this at home here.
Yes.
So if you can survive all 5, you win. So we're gonna try to catch these guys. So write down WCW television champion.
Television.
So WCW World Championship Wrestling television champion.
Let's go.
So I've already wrote down mine.
You want me to show mine?
I'll say who I said first. Okay. I said Stunning Steve Austin.
Steve Austin. I said Steve Austin also. Johnny B. Bad.
Nice.
Very nice.
Stefano is alive. Devon's eliminated.
Oh,
We'll let him play for funsies.
Thank
so
you guys.
the second championship title, think of a wrestler that wore the WWF Winged Eagle title. The WWF Winged Eagle title. So Devon's
I feel like this is going to be a no-brainer. I went with Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan?
Okay, Mr. Stefano.
Sergeant Slaughter.
I said Bret the Hitman Hart.
Okay.
So
I'm alive.
So unless you said Stunning Steve Austin first time or Bret Hart, you're still alive, out there in YouTube land. So number 3, ECW Tag Team Champions. ECW Tag Team Champions. Extreme Championship Wrestling. Paul Heyman led ECW Tag Team Champions.
Gosh, I hope I'm right. I wasn't the craziest ECW guy, but I went with Cactus Jack and
Mikey Whipwreck.
Whipwreck. So, yeah.
The Eliminators.
Okay.
I said the Eliminators.
No, no, you didn't. No, you looked at mine and then you wrote it down. That's no. I get it. The Dudleys.
Eliminated.
No, I got the Dudleys. There's the proof. I'm still alive.
Oh, God.
Stefano is total elimination.
No, you are cheating.
Unless you didn't say the Eliminators, then you're alive. But if you did say the Eliminators, you also didn't make it. But we've got 2 more levels.
2 more.
So we'll play for funsies for out there in TV land because you're probably going to beat these guys.
Yeah.
AEW Women's Champion. AEW Women's Champion.
I'm not playing. I'm not playing. Dude, I am protesting. This was blatant cheating by you. You obviously looked at my paper.
I went with Britt Baker.
I also went with
No,
Britt
you
Baker.
didn't. How? What?
Britt
Get
Baker.
out of my brain. Oh,
All right, our 5th and final level.
unbelievable.
If you're still alive, WWE Intercontinental Champion. WWE or WWF Intercontinental Champion. There's been so many of them. This is broad.
So I'm going to say this. I wrote down, this is not who I wrote down, but I wanted to say Warrior because I thought he was going to say Warrior. So at the last second, I switched it to Rick Rude. Rick Rude.
Ahmed Johnson.
Oh, what? I wasn't even close. We weren't even in the same ballpark.
Not that time.
Shout out to our boy Ahmed Johnson, man. Appreciate him.
We love you, Tony.
Yes.
So, all right. So if you did not say Ahmed Johnson or Stunning Steve Austin, Bret Hart, the Eliminators, or Britt Baker, you're a winner.
Yes. All right. We recently got a chance to sit down with Midwest Pro Wrestling superstar Jordan Cross, the punk rock prince. A little car confessions. Check him out right now. All right, what's up? We are here, Car Confessions, with none other than Mr. Jordan Cross. They call him the Technical Combat Brand Pro Wrestler, Jordan Cross, the punk rock prince. So I was going to say you're a newcomer, up-and-comer, but you've been in the ring with the likes of Hobbs, EC3, Enzo, Ricky Starks, Frank the Clown. I mean, how awesome is that? That's got to be super cool.
That list was great until the last one. Jeez.
Yeah. Do you have any Frank the Clown stories at all you could share with us?
He literally ruined my night by just assaulting me with a kendo stick and giving Robert Anthony a door to put me through, and I was like a literal child. So,
Okay.
I mean, other than that, he seems like a pretty cool dude.
All right, and who do we got here in the backseat? Who's this guy right here?
That's a good friend of Wes.
Wes, what up, Wes? I like
Hi.
the shirt right there. That's
Thank
cool. Good shot. Good job, Wes.
Yeah.
So, punk rock prince. So, if I'm new to the game,
with the music scene? Is there a certain band I got to check out at all, or best concert you've been to?
Best concert was definitely Rise Against in Pennywise. Pennywise was not great live, but I don't think we really expect anything from a punk band. But Rise Against killed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long have you been in a vehicle? What's the longest you ever been in a vehicle for?
I'm gonna do a blanket 8 hours.
8 hours? Dang, that's a long time. So we're just watching like a U-Haul get parked here and stuff, so it's super cool. If you were on a cooking show, I love me some food. If you were on a cooking show, what are you making on that cooking show?
Burgers.
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 Cheeseburgers?
Oh, yeah. Cheeseburgers.
All right. If you were a season, what season would you be? Winter?
I would like to say summer, but I'm not that peppy, so I'll go with spring.
All right. So if money is not an object at all, where are we traveling to in the whole world?
Bora Bora.
Bora Bora. Ladies? For the ladies?
That's
No
for the
comments.
Jordan. Yeah, no comment.
All right. If there was a certain skill you could master, what skill do you want to master?
Negotiation.
Ah, okay. I'll pay you later. It sounds good. Perfect. Biggest pet peeve you have? Biggest pet peeve?
The fact that Merc just parked the ring truck 4 feet from the door and he's also in the road.
There you go. All right. So if anybody wants to follow you along on social media, where is the best place to follow the punk rock prince, Jordan Cross?
The Jordan Cross with a K on like just about everything. I don't use everything, but everything has the Jordan Cross.
All right. There you go. Car Confessions. We appreciate you stopping by today.
Thank you.
All right. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, that is Jordan Cross. We appreciate him coming in on the Car Confessions. Learned a lot about him. Exciting young man in the pro wrestling scenes. Love it. Loving some Jordan Cross.
Yeah, Punk Rock Prince. Check him out. Follow him.
He's good. He's good people. I'm still angry that I've been cheated on in this game. I was the rightful winner, and once again, it's not a conspiracy when it's true, and you people conspire against me to try to keep me from winning these games, which are obviously I would win. I'm very upset.
I'm guessing if this guy played Tecmo Bowl and he was losing to the computer, he would shut it off. Just saying.
Lies.
I don't know.
Lies.
A friend of the program, Casey Lennox, sweet and sassy. She's got some pro wrestling trivia for you on the show today. Do you know the answer? Check her out.
Hey guys, Casey here. Now I'm from Baltimore, obviously. Baltimore born, baby, but I am not the only person in wrestling that came from Baltimore. We've got Moose, we've got Leo Rush, we have LA Knight, and my favorite, Stacy Keibler. Now, can you guys tell me, what was Stacy Keibler's ring name in WCW?
All right, thank you so much to the sweet and sassy Casey Lennox. If you know that trivia, drop it in the comments. Let us know what you think. And as always, we are on social media. We're on the X. We are on Instagram, the IG. We're on Facebook. We are all over the place. TikTok. Search Ultimate Wrestling Trivia. And you can find us on the Pro Wrestling Tee store, Ultimate Wrestling Trivia. We got some sweet shirts on there for you to check out. And the Patreon. You want to become a subscriber, get the show early, get in on the show. You can check out those links right there. That about does it for the show this week.
Don't forget what happened here this week. It's very important that people understand I'm a winner.
He is a winner. He's a winner. Stefano, the man down there, Mike Merck. I am Devon. I think we got to get out of here. Ultimate Wrestling Trivia returns next Tuesday. We'll see ya.